Whispers. Hi, sweeties, and welcome back to my channel. It is Wednesday today, and I really thought that I was going to be up for recording a video yesterday, but I really had to decompress from this holiday a little bit because, to be honest, it wasn't that fun of a trip. So I basically needed 2 days since we came back on Sunday to kind of think about what I honestly want to talk about, what I want to tell you and what I don't want to tell you. Because of course you are here for relaxation, and I want you to leave here either falling asleep or feel really relaxed, and I don't want you to feel negative or anything like that. So I am going to talk about the good things about this trip, the things that were fun, and the only thing that I will say about this trip is that if you are a tourist, you are best off going to Cuba in a group. If you go to a resort, the people are very friendly and you will have a good time. But if you go to the main cities and you look like a tourist, you will get followed, harassed, people will try to scam you, and they will rip you off. We got scammed. We got followed. I got harassed. So yeah, that kind of overshadowed my experience in Cuba, to be honest with you. In the main city, when we went to Havana, we went with a private tour guide. So it was just me, Chris, and the tour guide. And I honestly have not seen much of the city because I was too busy getting followed and harassed by people they have very, very clever ways to pretend to be nice or genuine and then make you pay. So, just a fair warning. So with that out of the way, that's kind of what's been keeping me occupied in my mind for the last 2 days, ever since I came back, just not really knowing what to say about it. But I think that's all I need to say about it. So now the rest of the trip. We flew on the 15th, which was on a Saturday at 4:25 p.m. in the evening. I'm going to show you some shells, by the way. I haven't unpacked them yet, that I found on the beach. But yeah, we ended up flying at 4:25. We ended up leaving about 45 minutes later because the plane had to be de-iced completely. And we also found out later down the road that we were one of the last planes to take off. A lot of planes after us got cancelled because Toronto got hit with 2 more snowstorms after we left. So we left at a perfect time. The temperature in Celsius when we left was -10 with a wind chill of -16 degrees. And when we landed in Cuba, which was around 9 o'clock in the evening, because it's only a 3.5-hour flight going there from Toronto, it was +24 Celsius. So it's a huge, huge temperature swing. It's 34 degrees Celsius temperature swing. So as soon as we landed there, the sun. I sure did. I didn't really tan much, but to be honest with you, the reason why I didn't tan much is because I really try to cover up as much as I can, because my skin always needs some time to get adjusted to the sun again. I usually need about 2 weeks when summer happens here again in Toronto after the winter, and I always, despite the fact that I cover up and use sunscreen lotion, I always burn. So I tried to cover up as much as I could with some light white linen clothing. And then we found out what the schedule was, like the breakfast, lunch, and dinner schedule. So yeah, the rest of the trip, sorry, the rest of the trip, we, except for that one day when we left the resort and had bad experiences and decided not to leave the resort again, every day was pretty much, we did some meditation on the beach. Like I said before, that we really wanted to do that. We worked out in the gym, but half the equipment wasn't working. On average per day, we would take about 8,000 steps just because of the size of the resort. Like everything was kind of spaced out quite a lot. So, yeah, you naturally were just walking a lot there. We took very long walks on the beach. This was my first time, I believe, going to a tropical destination and seeing like turquoise water, which was really, really beautiful. We had really warm temperatures the first few days, and the last 2 days it was really cold. For Cuban standards anyways, it was 24 degrees, but it was complete overcast, cloudy, and it very gray with rain and a lot of wind. So yeah, I woke up not too long ago and the sun is shining today, which is so nice. So I decided to hop on the camera right away, without breakfast or without fully being awake yet, to film this video for you, because I really wanted to show face and say hi and share my experiences and show these shells that I found. So these are 2 shells. I'm just gonna go and scared of that most of them would break. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I have quite a few of these red shells. Some of them are really like thick, others aren't. Here, all of a sudden it became really quiet. You can also hear a baby cry at the neighbor's house. So these are, I don't really, the sun is kind of in the way. It will move soon, but yeah, this is one of the red shells that I found at the beach. And I found quite a few of those. Found this one. And this one. This one, which is a little bit, looks a bit more like a pink color. Some smaller pieces as well of that same shell. And then I also found this one that has like it's a bit more orange and it has spikes on it. See the spikes? Very cool. Yeah, I try to find as many of a variety as I could possibly find. So yeah, like I said, I found some sea glass as well, some pottery. If you want to see some pictures, by the way, of this trip, feel free to go to my Instagram, because that's where I kept uploading some pictures of the trip. Just trying to sort out all the pieces of sea glass and pottery. I think that's all. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I just found some pieces of pottery. If you've followed me for a long time, you've seen my other sea glass videos I made in the past. And the different colors. And then I found a little bit of sea glass. I only brought a little bit with me. There's a lot of glass on the beach, actually. I believe that beer is the number one thing that people drink there, because it's easier to come by than water, and it's also cheaper. A blue piece of sea glass. And some different colors of green sea glass. So, yeah, then I have a couple of bigger shells that are like mostly white. Yeah, I have a few pieces of coral. Very few. Okay, so then we got this one, which is like a white. Well, it's not like a white shell, it is a white shell. A lot of these shells beach. Like, I don't know how far they walk, but it seems like they walk half of Cuba, so to speak, over the beach. Oh, there's a few more pieces of sea glass here. That's brown. So, yeah, I haven't really managed to find any big shells, but what I did find was this one. It's so beautiful. Tiny little machine. shells that I've never seen before that they actually also sold in souvenir stores, but then like really big versions of this is this one. Has a little yellow pointy part. Another piece of sea glass. Yeah, I found a few of these. This is, by the way, this is sand under my nail. Let me see if I can. Oh, this is another one of the bigger ones, but a small version small version of this one. Then I found a few of these. There's this one as well, but then this one is white. I really hope that this is focusing properly so you can see it properly. Yeah, I have no idea what this is. Chris and I both looked at it and we just couldn't figure out what this is. Just looks like a bunch of shells melted together or something. If you know what this is, please let me know down below. Yeah, like I said, I found a bunch of these ones. This one is the biggest one that I found. Yeah, I found some smaller versions of that as well. I found a few of those. Then I also found quite a lot of these ones at the beach, like this one. It doesn't want to focus for some reason. Yeah. Let me see. Here is the smallest shell I found. I found a few that are itty mini. Let me see if I have any other ones. I think this, I had a really small white one as well. Hold on, let me see if I can. It might be hiding in another shell, honestly, at this point. Oh, here it is. So, this is my itty mini collection. Look at how beautiful these little ones are. It's so fascinating how it can be so small. This little pink one, so cute. And then this little white shell. And then these ones that have beautiful colors. So cute. Yeah, then I found some shapes of shells that I've never seen before. Like this one. These ones seem to be very common there. Very. Because there are so many of those. so sea glass. I just keep finding sea glass in this pile. This is the same one as the itty meeny pink one, but then a different color. These things are so small to show on camera. It's hard to handle them. Then I found this one, not sure what kind of shell this is. I've never seen this before. I found a few like regular sized shells, but then different colors. And some more of this shape. I found quite a few of these that have that. Oh wait, this is a different shape. But I found quite a few of these ones that have this shape. I found a few pointy ones. This one is really intact, like super sharp, pointy. This one is broken off of a larger shell. I thought I had one more, but I could be wrong. No, I think this is it. I just had these two. I'm surprised that, especially one with the really like pointy part in this one, I'm surprised that this one made it without breaking. Very surprised. Yeah, I think I showed you pretty much everything that I found there. I guess I didn't really show you this one yet. I found a few of these different shapes, or the same shape but different colors. And again, I could have brought back so many more shells, but like at some point, you know, you just gotta be like, okay, well, I got all of them. I got all the variety, all the colors. So this one is really cool. Oh, here's the other one I was looking for. Yeah, I also found this shell. Is it gonna focus? I'm not sure. There we go. This shell. I also found this one that has pink stripes all over it with yellow. When it's wet, you can really see that. Got another one that has a little bit more pink on it. And I also found one was this shape. I've never seen this shape before. Such an interesting shape. I think I found a few of these as well, if I'm not mistaken. Such cool colors and patterns and shapes and sizes and everything. I just love shells, as many of you know. So yeah, every day. Let me just put everything back. So yeah, every day at the resort, I would walk to the beach. We were on the second floor of the resort. There were only 2 floors, and you would go down to stairs, turn right, and then turn right again. And then you would walk through this, like these palm trees, and there was some grass. And then you would go onto this boardwalk that you could follow, and that would lead to the beach. On this boardwalk, there was like a little river underneath with mangrove trees. And there were a lot of fish there that I normally have only seen in tropical aquariums, which was really cool. And there were also a lot of crabs on the beach. They have like these little crab holes, it's like a little hole in the ground. And then if you sit still on a towel and you basically become one with nature, these little crabs come out of their holes, and they move sand, so you see them throwing out sand out of the little crab holes. And let me see, what else did I see? I kept calling them tiny baby lizards, but they're not, but they're like about this big. There were a ton of those around, little baby lizards. And I also saw a hummingbird one time when I was going to the gym, or when I was just done in the gym. I walked back to the hotel room, or no, sorry, I was walking from the hotel room toward where they set up lunch. Man, keep yawning. And all of a sudden there was this hummingbird right in front of me. And I know for a lot of people that live in tropical or warm places, hummingbirds is nothing special, but this was only my second time ever seeing them in like real life, and it was like right in front of my face. It was a green one. It was so pretty, and it was just flying from flower to flower. So that was really cool. And they had some cats at the resort as well that had some baby kittens. Kitten is automatically a baby. Why do I call it baby kitten? Anyways, they had those. I saw a lot of different types of crabs, different sizes. Let me see. What else did I see? There were like these fish that were like really long sticks. I kept calling them stick fish. Those were really cool. They sometimes jumped above the water, like in that little river that was connected to the ocean. I saw some birds I've never seen before. There were a lot of vultures above the resort. Yeah, just a lot of birds that I've never seen before. Then there were also common sparrows were there, but there sauce. So if you like hot sauce, or pepper for that matter, bring that with you when you go to Cuba. We had some pepper, salt, and hot sauce. I like pepper, but Chris really likes hot sauce. So we had that with us, and everything in terms of food. You don't go to Cuba for the food, at least not at a resort. Everything tastes pretty much bland because they have no spices or herbs to cook with, so they just don't bother. So if you eat a hamburger, for example, they make a hamburger. It looks like a hamburger, but it doesn't taste like a hamburger, and that applies almost to everything. So yeah, just a little tip. So with that being said, overall, the beaches, like I said, the beaches were gorgeous, and that was one of the main reasons why we left Toronto. We wanted to go to somewhere where it was warm and somewhere that has a pool and beaches, and that's what we definitely got. And I'm very happy with my new shell collection to add to my already existing collection that is just growing and growing. So next week I will most likely be back with eating a giant Kinder egg, because I have an I Spy love book that I got from Chris for Valentine's Day, but that was the day before we left to Cuba, so I didn't get to film anything with it. So I'm going to open that giant, it's like about this big, a giant Kinder egg, and probably eat like a part of it, not the whole thing. And what else? Yeah, and then show you the I Spy book, which is surprisingly difficult to find anything in.